Jesse Jackson gonna be asking for that check. I need that check, man. I'm with these niggas, man. I need that check. You know?
Right.
You know, but hey, niggas is hoes, man. Niggas is straight hoes. Alright? Where you at? Luke? Keep going.
You still touching on 14?
Yeah, we're gonna go to 14 more, Luke.
Luke chapter 21. Where do we stop at? Verse
26.
Verse 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh.
Draweth nigh, meaning it's getting close. Go ahead.
It says, and he spake to them a parable, both the fig tree and all the trees, when they now shoot forth, ye see and know all of yourselves that summer is nigh at hand.
That's right, it's nigh at hand, man. I mean, it's close, but it's not yet. Go ahead.
It says, so likewise ye, when ye see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of the Most High is nigh at hand.
Nigh at hand is coming. Go ahead.
Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. And
till all be fulfilled.
See that? Till all be fulfilled, man. That's the same thing that the Lord was talking about the law, man. All right, this generation ain't gonna pass away. So if the law's done away with, then that's basically saying that the nation of Israel is gonna, or the wicked is passed away. All right, or done away with. There's no wicked on the earth now. You piece of work shit.
Retarded, man. Your doctrines are of devils, man.
Right.
A seducing spirit.
That's right. Verse 33: Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away.
That's right.
And take heed to yourselves, lest least at any time.
The Lord is never gonna pass away. Go ahead.
It says, least at any time, your hearts be by overchanged with suffering.
We're gonna give you the truth. Go ahead. Give me
Go back to Isaiah.
Give me
63.
Romans 9. You familiar with the Bible?
Yes.
Just playing.
You know who Jacob and Esau are? You know who Jacob and Esau are?
Ricky, did you have a fun day?
Esau by God.
No, that's
Enoch.
That's Elijah. Well, Enoch was as well. Yeah, you're right. Jacob and Esau. You know Jacob and Esau?
Yeah.
The whole Bible centers around Jacob and Esau. You know that?
Well, like the descendants of Jacob and son, right?
Yeah, the descendants of Jacob and the descendants of Esau.
Yeah, that would split the Middle East up into the two parts.
Not necessarily, but you know who the descendants of Esau are today?
The Palestinians.
Palestinians.
I don't know.
White people. What does it say when it says when Esau was born? It says he came out red all over, like a hairy garment. That's not red, white people, right? Born. Now read that. Let's get to the point.
This is Romans chapter 9 verse 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved.
Jacob. So God said he loved Jacob, right? Go ahead.
But Esau have I hated.
Esau have I hated. You see that? So God hates. And who does he hate? So-called white man. The devil, the people who painted this image and said this is Jesus Christ. When the Bible clearly tells us Jesus Christ is what? Well, no. But what color did he say he was?
I don't remember what color.
You don't remember what color? You ain't see Revelations? Let's go to Revelations 1.
It's Revelations chapter 1 verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man.
7 candlesticks are the 7 churches of Asia Minor. You know what the Son of Man is? Jesus Christ. Go ahead.
One like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot.
He had a garment down to his foot. Go ahead.
And girt about the paps with the golden girdle.
Championship belt. Go ahead.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Wool describing the texture. Go ahead.
As white as snow.
White as snow describing the color. Because your hair ain't snowy, but your hair could be woolly, right? Now go ahead.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Eyes were as a flame of fire, because in Genesis it tells us his eyes shall be red with wine, right? Go ahead.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Like unto fine brass, because he had that long garment on, all I could see is his feet. And he said it was like unto fine brass, but wait, go ahead.
As if it burned in a furnace.
Not just regular fine brass, we're talking about as if it burned in a furnace. So close to this man's color right here. That's how Jesus Christ was. Meaning that's how his people, the Jews, were, right? Yeah. Meaning, who are them people over there in Jerusalem?
You don't have to do the next.
They don't look like that, do they? No. Get Revelations 2 and 9.
But is skin color really that important?
It's not skin color, it's nationality that's important, number 1. But also, number 2, in John, the 7th chapter, 38th verse says, he that believeth on me as the scriptures have said. Now the scripture said that this man is a black man. So you got to believe that this man is a black man if you really believe in Jesus Christ.
You got to ask yourself a question, why does he look like that?
We're where he came for Jews and Gentiles, everybody in the world.
He came for
you know,
Jews. Let me ask you something.
Wouldn't worry about skin color.
Let me ask you something. Hey, listen, let me say. Now, first off, this whole thing about skin color, this is an invention of the white people. People didn't used to worry about skin color. It's about nationality.
History is
It's about nationality more so than it is about skin color. Like,
People have been fighting people since the beginning of time.
let me ask you this: Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah.
Would you say he's a black man?
He's half black, half Jewish.
Or would you call him black?
Probably.
Right? But his father's Jewish. His father's a white man. So you know what that means? He's a white man. Because according to the Bible, it's about your lineage of your father. So somebody can look black or look white. Like, I'm light skinned, but my father's black. So it doesn't matter how you necessarily appear. It matters your lineage, your seed, where you come from, where it goes back to. Okay, but get Revelation 29 real quick.
But I don't think it matters really what country you came from. If you believe in God, He's going to save you, right?
Not necessarily. We're going to show you that. But get Revelation 29.
Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty,
In poverty, right? Because the so-called Negro and Latino is in tribulation and poverty. Go ahead.
but thou art rich.
But we're rich. How we rich? We rich in spirit. Go ahead.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are
They
Jews
say they are Jews. Go ahead.
and are not,
And are not. They say it's blasphemy. They say they are Jews and are not. Those are the people that's in the Middle East right now. Go ahead.
but are the synagogue of
They are
Satan.
the synagogue of Satan. You know what the word synagogue means?
Church,
It
basically.
means what? It means a chief house. So there it means they're the chief house of Satan. You know who financed the slave trade?
Jews finance a lot more than that.
What listen, I'm just starting with that. But see, because you had English white people, French white people, Dutch white people, all taking Spanish, Portuguese white people, all taking people into slavery. But they couldn't have did it without the financing of the Jews. So that shows that the Jews are the chief house. They're the masters of all so-called white people. Because without their money, so-called white people wouldn't have got as far as they got. You see what I'm saying? It all matters to the Jewish bankers. We'd all agree on that, right? The Jewish bankers control a whole lot, like you said. They finance a whole lot more than that. Hey, they did something called the Holocaust. You know about the Holocaust? You think the Holocaust is real?
Yeah.
It's real? What if I told you that Adolf Hitler is a Jew?
He wasn't.
He was a Jew, right? Why would he kill 6 million of his own people?
Funded by their own people.
He also wanted Aryans. He believed that Aryans, blonde hair and blue eye guys.
Which Aryans are Iranians, Persians.
As well.
Exactly, which he wasn't blonde hair and blue eyes. So why would he preach that people with blonde hair and blue eyes are just these great people, but you're not that? Doesn't make any sense, right? See what I'm saying? Because really, it was all a bunch of bullshit, and it was all something that they staged so they could get the land of Israel in 1948.
History is that who owns the future?
You said what?
Who owns the future writes the past.
That's true, and that's why it's his story, right? It's whoever won the war, that's who writes it, right? But what we getting now? What'd you say? All people, right? Get Romans 10 and 1.
This is Romans chapter 10, verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to God
So this
for
is the Apostle
Israel.
Paul. You familiar with the Apostle Paul? No, he said this.
Very far to preach.
Okay, exactly. He went all over the world, right? And he says this.
Spoke many languages.
Hebrew, Greek, and Latin. You know. Now he said his heart's desire is this for Israel. Go ahead.
Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved.
They might be saved. Not everybody be saved. That Israel be saved. Now skip.
Isn't he talking to the Romans?
Well, Israel, the Jews,
The letter is to the
promised
Romans. That's
land.
why it's called the Book of Romans.
Well, yeah, so he's talking to the
The
Romans.
Canaanites.
Yeah.
So he went
But
to
see,
the,
that was
Moses stayed in the desert for 40 years so he could get 2 generations.
to remove them, and build that army to take Canaan, because that was a curse that God put on the Canaanites. Because the Canaanites was wicked. You see what I'm saying? But where you at?
real quick, I just asked him, like you said, it's called the book of Romans because he was going into the Romans. So he went unto the Romans to tell the Romans that he's praying to God so that Israel might be saved.
Not nobody else. So why would he say that to the Romans if there weren't Israelites involved? You see what I'm saying? You get that logic? Now before we get to Romans 9, get 1 Corinthians real quick. Now the Corinthians, you know about the Corinthians, the church in Corinth, Greece?
Yeah.
Those are Greeks, right? Okay, let's see something real quick.
1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud,
Now you were just talking about, go ahead.
and all passed through the sea.
Wait, go now, keep reading the 2.
It says, and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea.
Now who came out of Egypt with Moses? The Israelites, right? Now but he's writing to the people in Greece, and he said all your forefathers passed through Moses through the sea with Moses. So they must have been Israelites, right? You see what I'm saying? These people who are Gentiles in the New Testament are Israelites that went into Greece, Rome, Ephesus, you see what I'm saying, lands like that, and basically became those people.
What nationality was Paul? Salah, bro.
Oh yeah. Paul was a Roman, right? He was a Roman.
He was Saul first.
Yeah, well, yeah, Saul changed the Paul.
Persecuted the Christians.
Yeah, right. But he was a Roman. He was a Roman, and then but he was a Jew. You see what I'm saying?
He was an Israelite.
He was an Israelite still.
I got that.
No, go
This
ahead.
is,
So he went from being a Roman to being saved, basically.
Well,
No,
not
no,
from
no,
a
no,
Roman to being saved, but he was a citizen of Rome. Like, for example, like us, for example, we're citizens of the United States of America. Like, we're technically Americans, you see what I'm saying? But that's not like our
But we're
technical
still children
nationality.
of God if we believe it, right?
Not necessarily. First off, the only children of God, the Bible tells us, is the nation of Israel. Get Deuteronomy 7:6, and then we're going to jump back to Romans 9.
all right, I was going to get this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. This the 28th chapter of Deuteronomy talking about all the curses that was going to come upon the children of Israel. It says, "And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people
That's right.
from the one end of the earth even unto the other.
That's why you had us out there in Corinth, Greece.
That's right.
Rome, Ephesians. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have
Like
known,
this dude.
even wood and stone."
Some of our people are caught up in Islam. They want to worship Allah. You see what I'm saying? Allah ain't nothing but a stone. That's all Allah is.
Right.
They said God came into a stone. That's crazy.
Which is
You know what I'm
why Paul was
I don't
actually
care what you pray to, as long as you pray to something
I mean,
better
but
than yourself.
if you're praying to an idol, you're praying to nothing. You're better. If you're praying to an
better off
idol,
praying to yourself.
you're better than that because you made that. You know what I'm saying?
That's the balls and the asheras of this.
Exactly. They made all these idols, but you made it. You gave that thing life. You know, why are you praying to something that you gave life
Well,
to?
I don't know. They took God out of AA, but they said.
Yeah, they say a power, right?
They said.
Yeah,
pray to
you
a
can
fucking
believe in
doornail.
whatever.
yeah, but they always say doornail, doorknob, you know, anything.
Pray to a doorknob.
Yeah.
Pray to something. Live for something higher. You know, don't-
I mean, which
don't get
I'm
caught
sure
up
that
in
helps.
schematics
That
and
helps.
bullshit.
That helps
Because it's all-
alcoholics
it's all
out.
bullshit.
Well, go to Romans 9.
It's all bullshit.
They're trying
And
to give them faith and hope.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
Yeah.
people who don't got
That's-
faith in
that's
hope.
what it's-
But
They
do
like
you?
latch onto it.
They gotta latch onto it to let that other
Yeah.
addiction go.
You got to
But-
replace addiction.
Exactly. But with that, yeah, you gotta replace addiction. Now, would you really believe that doornail, that doorknob could actually save someone?
Well, it depends on how you say save.
Save, meaning when
Well,
this
no,
place
no,
comes from.
I understand what he's saying.
No, but
I understand what you're saying.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, of course you can always try to.
If you're a
Okay,
good
I'm
person-
gonna take it a different
Well,
way.
This whole thing about babies not being baptized and going to hell, I don't think a baby's born evil. I've never seen a baby do evil things.
Yeah, well, babies are
I've seen
born
a lot.
evil.
I've seen a lot of people do evil.
But go to Romans 9 real quick.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy
he's
God.
talking to Israel. He said, "We are a holy people unto the Lord thy God." Go ahead.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself,
Chosen us, right? Go ahead.
above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Above all people, better than all people on the planet Earth. Go ahead.
Which
that
it
was-
says in the Quran, which it says in every Bible.
It says that the Israelites are
It's
chosen.
the idea of mine is
Go to
better than
Romans 9.
yours. That's the wrong idea.
That's
I
not
say
the
even
wrong
in the,
idea.
but even in the Quran it tells you that the Israelites are the chosen people.
Saying somebody's religion is wrong is
Yeah,
Yeah.
saying someone's religion is wrong is wrong.
That they have.
What does the word religion mean? What does the word religion mean?
That's what it's.
Can I ask you what the word religion means?
No idea.
It comes from a Latin word religio, which means to hold back, to bind fast. So people who are in religions are held back. They're not. Religion doesn't deal with the Bible. Religion will read John 3:16 to you, but religion ain't going to deal with these scriptures that we're bringing out to you. You know why? Because this defeats religion. Religion is about money. They tell we want everybody to come here, so everybody can put money in the collection pit.
That's the papal
See, look,
states. How much money they have?
I'm gonna-
They haven't released that information.
Of course not.
Since 1930.
Let me ask you this: you know how many tithes have
How
been
much
paid?
money does America have?
You know how many tithes have been paid to black churches in the last 30 years?
Reserve
Do you know how
in
many?
1940.
30 years. You know how much tithes have been paid to black churches? Something like $40 billion in tithes have been paid to black churches in 30 years.
What about every church?
But here's what I'm saying. I'm just saying this. Now look at the black communities. Has any of that money went back into the community? $40 billion?
Not in the community.
Not, if
Not
there
in
was,
the community.
none of us would have these problems. You see what I'm saying? But see, the Jewish people don't need that money to put back because the Jewish people, they got plenty of money. You see what I'm saying?
That's like a stereotype.
But are there broke Jews? Of course. I'm not going to say that every single Jew is rich, but for the most part,
But the richest people in the
in
world
the world
are
are
Jews.
Jews.
Yeah,
You know?
mathematically or statistically,
Which is what? What does the scripture say? If Satan is divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand? So if a Jew is the richest person on earth, how in the hell do you have poor Jews? That makes no sense. If I'm the richest person in the world, first and foremost, I'm going to take care of my people and make sure that none of them are poor. And then everybody else comes
And not rich Jews.
Huh?
I mean, if you think of the top 10 richest people in the world, it starts with Mexican.
No. First of all, who owns the World Bank?
Who owns the IMF? Who owns the Federal Reserve? No. America. The Federal Reserve is a privately owned company.
Yeah.
Owned by the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, guys like that. They're above money. They control money. They tell you how much that dollar is worth. You see what I'm saying? So they're really the richest.
Well, actually, it's the people who gives the dollar worth.
That's right.
If you gave a person a loaf of bread without asking for money, that money would have no value.
That's true. That's very true. But all these people, it's not worth a damn thing.
We're not arguing with you about that. But as far as you know, do you think somebody's going to give you that loaf of bread without any money? No. So therefore, money is now integrated into the conversation because hey, it's the currency and it's something that's actually making a difference. Yeah. So who controls this and who has the most of it? I got it. This is Romans chapter 9 verse 1. This is Paul speaking again. I say the truth in Christ, I lie not.
So you're getting ready to tell the truth. You believe in the Bible as a whole, right? Okay, good. I'm glad you do.
My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit.
So the Holy Spirit is bearing witness that he's telling the truth. Go ahead.
That I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart.
For who?
For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh.
According to the flesh. Who is his brother and his kinsmen according to the flesh?
Who are Israelites.
Who are Israelites? He's telling it. They're Israelites. That's who his brothers are. Go ahead.
To whom pertaineth the adoption.
You know what the adoption is? That's Christ on the cross. That's the adoption. Go ahead.
And the glory.
And the glory, meaning the kingdom of heaven. Go ahead.
And the covenants.
And the covenant. The old covenant and the new covenant. The testaments. Old testament, new testament. Go ahead.
And the giving of the law.
And the giving of the law. The law of Moses, right? Go ahead.
And the service of God.
The service of God belongs to Israel. It don't belong to nobody else. Go ahead.
And the promises.
And he made only promises to Israel. Go ahead.
Whose are the fathers, and of whom as concerning the flesh Christ came.
Christ came concerning the flesh for the Israelites.
Who is over all, God bless forever, amen.
Who is over all people, God bless forever.
I get that the children of Israel are his chosen people, but other people of the world.
He's talking about the Gentiles.
They might be, they might be still his chosen people, but we still can be saved too. I don't know if they're more special.
Now get Acts 13, 26. You asking the right questions.
Right though, like I'm not doubting that they're his chosen people.
What I'm gonna tell you is I'm gonna show you what you're saying. The things you're saying, I'm gonna show you.
Acts chapter 13 verse 26. Men and brethren.
You still talking about salvation, right? Salvation, right? Go ahead.
Men and brethren, children of the stock of Abraham.
Children of the stock, meaning the Israelites. Go ahead.
And whosoever among you feareth the God.
Whosoever among the Israelites that fear God. Go ahead.
Or the stock of Abraham.
That's right.
That fear God. To you is the word of salvation sent.
The word of salvation is sent to the Israelites. It didn't say to everybody else in the world. It said to the children of the stock of Abraham. Now, John 4.
I was going to get Acts 5.
Well, go to John 4 first.
What about the other people like Adam?
Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there.
This is John chapter 4 verse 22. Ye worship, ye know not what.
This is Jesus Christ talking. Go ahead.
We know what we worship.
We know what we worship, right? Go ahead.
For salvation is of the Jews.
Salvation is of the Jews. And that's who salvation is for. You see what I'm saying? This is in the Bible. Now let me ask you this.
So everybody else is fucked then?
Everybody else is fucked.
Wait.
What's your nationality?
I don't even know.
You don't even know? Did you adopt it?
I don't even know.
You don't know?
White something, mix it. I don't think it doesn't even matter. Right?
What's your father?
It's gotta matter.
I have no idea.
I mean, if you don't know, hey, then you don't know. You know what I'm saying? But
Jesus Christ is still my Savior, and I won't let anybody tell me anything different.
Hey, you can say that. That's true. And look, I'm not telling you that you're not an Israelite. I didn't say that.
I never said I was an Israelite.
Hey, look, I'm not saying that you did. Here's what I'm telling you. I'm just saying that it's all about Israel, according to the Bible. Yeah. So this whole Bible is about Israel. So you better hope, if you believe in Jesus Christ, that you're of Israel.
You're taking like little verses here and there. And
we're taking. I can read you Genesis to Revelation about Israel.
But I mean, it's like
the Bible says
for the whole world.
The whole. Where did you get that from?
John 3:16.
John 3:16, right?
You say your heart?
From your heart. What does the Bible say about trusting your heart? Do you know?
The heart is deceitfully wicked.
never been baptized.
Exactly. The heart is deceitfully wicked above all
My
things.
stepmother is Jewish. My grandmother's Indian.
Your dad married a Jew,
Yes, he did. And he's German.
and he's German.
Yes, sir.
You married a Jew. God damn.
That's
I'm
no
product
matter.
of society. I don't think.
I mean, hey, I understand. We are products of society. We
Real
all,
quick.
you know,
Real quick.
went through some
This
type
is
of social-
Galatians
Yeah,
chapter
go ahead.
4, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
Even so we, when we were children, were in bondage under the elements of the world,
Uh-huh.
but when the fullness of the time was come,
Yeah.
God sent forth his son, made of a woman, made under the law, to redeem them that were under the law.
To redeem them. Now, who was under the law?
The Jews.
The Israelites, right?
It's not just the Jews.
Yeah,
You
the
gotta
Jews is only 3 tribes.
Yeah.
That's all the Jews are. This
You
is
gotta
the whole
understand that the
12
nation of
tribes.
Israel, that the nation of Israel was split into 2 nations after during a little bit after King Solomon. So it became the house of Israel, and it became the house of Judah. The word Jew comes from the word Judah. So when you're saying, well, the Jews, that's only speaking for 3 of the tribes. There's still 9 other tribes that have to be accounted for. These are the Gentiles, or the people that were scattered, which what we read about during the curses in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. They were scattered throughout all the world and all nations. That's why Paul went to all of these nations,
That's right.
preaching unto them. They were considered Gentiles to actual Jews that knew they were Israelites and knew that they knew their lineage.
Go back to John 4. Now, you familiar with
Right.
Jesus' interaction with the Samaritan woman? Because that's what we read in John 4.
The one where the prostitute,
Not the prostitute, the one at the well. You know about the
where she
Samaritan?
cried at his feet.
No, not that one. The one where she touched the hem of his garment
Oh,
and
yeah.
her daughter was healed by the faith.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not this one. A different Samaritan woman, but we're going to show you something. This is kind of like what I showed you in 1 Corinthians.
This is John chapter 4, verse 9.
Okay.
Then said the woman of Samaria unto him, How is it that thou being a Jew askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria?
Right? Because, go ahead, we're going to read it.
For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans.
Jews and Samaritans don't got no dealings with each other. You see what I'm saying? So she's considered a Samaritan. She's considered a Gentile. Now,
That
skip
was
to-
like some racist bullshit, right?
well, it wasn't bullshit. They had a point. There was a reason that they did that. Because
About
the
Mac
Jews,
Ford, same love and
because the Jews who they're supposed to be following the laws, the God, right? But they went into these other places and they started following their gods.
Yeah.
So that's why the Jews at that time were saying, well, we don't want to talk to you because you
separate ourselves.
yeah, you basically turned your back, right?
Because what did Paul say? He said, sanctify yourself and be ye separate.
Yeah, to be separate from these people.
right.
You're
And they
in
were
this world, but you're not of this world.
exactly, but they were being of this world. But jump to 12. Now the same woman, she said the Jews and the
I'm gonna
Samaritans.
read down just to give an understanding.
Okay, go ahead.
Jesus answered and said unto him, If thou knowest the gift of God, and who it is that said to thee, Give me to drink, thou wouldst have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water.
I mean, I'm the Savior. You know who you're talking to right now? You must have no idea. Go ahead.
The woman said unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence then hast
she's
thou
being
that living
simple.
water?
She doesn't understand what he's talking about.
talking
You know,
about spiritual.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
Verse 12. Art thou greater than our father Jacob?
Wait, she said what?
Art thou greater than our father
Who
Jacob?
is Jacob the father of? The Israelites. Exactly. So if she was an actual Samaritan, she wouldn't have said that.
She wouldn't acknowledge Jacob as her father.
You see what I'm saying? So Jacob had to actually be her father. You see what I'm saying?
Real quick.
So she was a Samaritan. It didn't really matter.
She
Because
she lived in Samaria.
Yeah.
She
She
followed
wasn't
the
an
ways
actual
of the Samaritan.
Samaritan. Real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
So
This
that's
is
like if it doesn't matter if you live in America or Ethiopia or like what you look like or where you came from, you can still believe what you believe.
No, it matters as long as you're the seed of Jacob, the seed of Abraham. Then it doesn't matter how you look or where you live in the world. If you're in fact of the seed of Jacob, then you are a chosen
So
person.
if I'm not of the seed of
What do you
Jacob,
get?
then I'm just fucked then, right?
Exactly.
So then why even try then?
Really?
Hey, like I said, you don't know your
I
lineage.
don't choose to
Yeah.
believe
You
that.
see what I'm saying? You could be. If you got this calling in your spirit to where you're just like, man, you know, I really, you know, hey,
I
hey,
feel
you
like
might
I
be.
have the Holy Spirit.
Like I said, I'm not gonna knock you for trying. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you you're gonna die. I'm not. You clearly have a zeal for God. You see what I'm saying? What I will tell you to do is, if you really are serious, you need to really make some life changes.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You need to really follow the Lord. You see what I'm saying? I see you got 2 weed plants tattooed on you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's not very good.
Does that mean I
You see what
smoke
I'm
weed
saying?
though?
Hey, do you smoke weed?
No, he doesn't.
You don't? You eat weed?
No.
No? Well, you got the cannabis on you then. Hey, I'm asking.
That's just a perception. Look, it just went
Well,
away.
well,
Why
Exactly why I am.
you got a tattoo then?
Because I smoke it.
That's against the Bible though. getting a tattoo?
I got a tattoo that I'm from California. I'm a Jamaican. That's who I am. You feel me?
That represents who he is.
You feel me?
So that does represent you.
Yeah, something.
So if I see that, I'm gonna think, oh, well, this
Right.
dude's a heavy weed smoker.
But that's wrong.
Hey,
But no,
that's not
no.
wrong.
But even then, I mean, I gotta kind of put two and two together. It's a big weed epidemic going on right
Everybody
now.
smoke
So
weed.
if you have two weed
don't smoke
plants on here
I don't
on you,
smoke. I never smoke.
then
Smoke
you
a lot
know.
of weed.
Hey,
You don't.
that's not good. It's not good to smoke.
Don't worry about it.
Hey, that's cool. I'm still gonna let you know. You see what I'm saying? You cannot be worried. You can do whatever you want with it. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's my job to let you know.
To me, a person really is just like